Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second annual International World Food Forum Film Festival. My name is Lindsay, I'm the head of culture, and I'm so excited to have you all here today, both in person and online. We will begin with a short discussion with two fantastic women in the music and film industries. First, let's welcome Leah Bruckner, a professional violinist and climate activist, followed by Maria Sanna, CMO and Impact Manager of Italy's Tuorlo magazine. Welcome, ladies. Grab your microphones. Thank you so much for being here tonight with us. I know we're running a little bit late, apologies. But I wanted to start off by just asking you both to give us a quick introduction of yourselves and where you're from, maybe starting with Leah.
Yeah, thank you also very much for the invitation here. I feel very honored to be not just here as a musician, but also as a speaker. So I can speak a little bit about what is for me important, what I think what artists could do to really drive the change for a more sustainable future. So I'm basically, how you already said, I'm a violinist, and I'm, since I would say like 4 years, I started to really discover the topic of sustainability, and I really try now to use the stage and to use the voice, what actually we all musicians have, to use it for a more sustainable future and to really support the change for a more sustainable culture in our society, because that's, I mean, we are the culture industry and we cannot just create art, but we can also with art influence people, and also with our stage, what we are using. I mean, all of us musicians, we have a stage, we have people who are listening to us, so we can use that, and that's what I'm mainly doing nowadays. I was also 1 week ago in the German government speaking and playing. It was an event about environmental crime, and so yeah, that's basically what I'm doing.
Amazing, thank you, Leah. And how about you, Maria?
Thank you, Lindsay, for having me together with Leah. It's a privilege to me after having listened to her yesterday. My name is Maria, I'm from Milano, and I'm head of marketing at Tuorlo magazine. We are a benefit corporation because we try to manage the storytelling about food with the storytelling and education and raising awareness about sustainability topics, because food is our love, is an amazing industry made of fantastic people, but it also has impact both on the environment and the society, the communities, and that we cannot ignore. So we try to put together the instances of having fun and loving the food, but also be well aware of what does it mean to produce and to eat food, and why we have to push ourselves towards a healthy diet for the healthy planet and for ourselves.
Absolutely. And can you tell me a little bit about maybe a recent project that you've done, any documentaries or anything?
Yes, last year, it is like 1 year today, yesterday or today. So we are celebrating here with you the launch of Still Hungry, the documentary that we produced on behalf of Infinity. There is an on-demand video platform owned by the major broadcaster Mediaset here in Italy. And it is a documentary that they launched last year, especially to raise awareness towards the topic of the food waste. There is a huge emergency, especially in Western countries like Italy, for example, where 1/3 of the food produced is wasted. And most of this waste happens in our households. Mm-hmm. And that's why we need to talk about this and to produce some concern in the people and try to change little by little.
Absolutely. So, Leah, I would love to kind of know from you any of your kind of examples of how exactly you use your voice on stage. Do you have any projects specifically for that? You know, raising awareness through your music in the culture business.
Yeah, so in March 2021, I made kind of a project. It started all with a simple idea of bringing musicians together in the corona pandemic, in the lockdown, on social media to raise their voices and their music using social media to just share the message of sustainability on social media, and it's called Music for Our Planet. And that's, I think, was the start of really rising, like, or using my voice, and also connecting with a lot of other musicians, also with big organizations. In Germany also there's an organization where a lot of orchestras are already in, and they are like trying to build new forests on Madagascar, or also in Brazil, where actually our instruments are coming from, because this is also like the music industry has a huge impact on, for example, deforestation, because most of the wood is not coming from sustainable deforestation. So it's kind of also a problem with illegal deforestation, what's happening in the music business. So yeah, these organizations, for example, was working with me together for that. So that was the first project, really, to go also in public, talk in the radios about that. And I realized that in conversation with other musicians, that many musicians are not aware of how big is our voice actually, what we could have on stage. Also, especially in the classical music, but also in the pop world. I mean, we are all, as I said, we are all using a stage. So in that moment, when people enter to a concert, they are really aware of like listening to us. So we can use it and share on stage, like also with other people, with scientists or so ever. So bring really different arts kind of together on stage, or also use our own voice to just speak out loud about topics which are important for us, not just the climate change, but also other social problems, to really bring it up on stage. And I think that's the awareness, that's the issue in these days, I think, because many people already know about the climate change, about our environmental problem, like also topics like food waste, what you just said. And most of the stuff, I would say, is happening really in our private life. I mean, we always say like, okay, politics are not doing enough, the industry is not doing enough. Can be all true, but I think that we have to start all with our own life. So whether, I mean, we are working in a company, in an organization, or as an artist, we can influence our surrounding, how small it might be, but we can influence it. And if you have a stage, you have a bigger surrounding. So I think that you should use it to really try to drive the change.
Absolutely. So I would love to ask you, since you do work with documentaries, and obviously you're doing a lot of storytelling and images and everything, and I know that we were talking about the videos that come from certain organizations about, very shocking images, using those images of animals being killed and the horrors of the meat industry. And I wanted to know first from you what you think about these kind of shocking images in communication and for advocacy and for raising, awareness and action. Do you think that they are effective? Do you think sometimes they're less effective? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not an advocate of violent communication anyway. A few days ago in London, for example, it happened something that everybody talked about. A bunch of activists entered the National Gallery throwing a Campbell soup against the picture by Van Gogh, the sunflowers, and all the press is talking about that. But they're not talking about climate or the raise of the price of the energy or whatever. They are just talking about a group of people that are now accused to be crazy criminals, while instead they were perfectly aware that the picture was protected by a glass screen. So they were demonstrating, they were not trying to damage anyone, but still the message wasn't caught up by the people. Mm-hmm. Nobody understood that. And the result is just to raise anger, to raise hate, to raise disgust. So I don't think violent communication is a good way. Same for if you want to educate someone. For example, I'm a mother. Mm-hmm. I have 2 children and they are pretty demanding. But if I just scream at them, what will I get? I will make them maybe scary, or I will make them feel guilty. I will make them feel angry. I don't think this is working. I think that if I want them to listen to me, to learn something, to make a progress, to make a step ahead, I need to use the right tone of voice, the right images, the right words. And because I don't want to produce fear, I want to produce maybe concern or responsibility. I don't want to produce anxiety or damage their mental health. I want to produce a concrete concern. Maybe I want to call them to action. I want to, I want to feel them part of the solution instead of the problem. This is my point of view. So I wouldn't go for a shocking image if you don't give a correct and consistent information, a consistent explanation of the problem. We need to increase awareness, not anxiety. And it is not the same thing for me. It is not the same job.
That's a really interesting way of explaining it. Leah, what are your thoughts?
I think my perspective is a little bit different, but maybe also because I'm kind of a like younger generation still, so I'm more seeing it like from our generation where all this kind of Fridays for Future and so started. So I think that a lot of people, also when I'm talking somewhere, they are really shocked when I then show some pictures, for example, from a slaughtery house. They say, first of all, no, that's not happening like that anymore. That's not, I mean, the standard, the normal standard is not anymore this horrible, you know, like mass slaughtery where the animals still are alive when they come basically already in the slaughtering process. But that's unfortunately, I mean, it's not the truth. So many people are still not aware of the reality. And I think it's nice. You go, for example, with the meat industry, you go to some supermarket, you see nice packed meat, but you don't see the pictures behind it. So I think that it's necessary. I mean, it was the same thing like with the, for example, anti-smoking campaign a few years ago. I mean, it made a huge impact in Germany since they started to print really the terrifying pictures on the packages. Of course, not everybody stopped smoking, but in Germany, for example, it had a huge impact, and it really went down with the numbers. So I think that how you can feel that it's necessary to change if you don't see the reality, or if you're not aware of the reality. I mean, we hear, yeah, it's terrifying, it's probably horrible what's happening to the animals, for example, in the meat industry. But if you don't see it, if you never went, for example, to a slaughtery house or whatever, I think also in the education it should be much more involved. I mean, the children are growing up with happy pigs seeing on trucks when they are already on the way to the slaughterhouse. There's a smiling pig like drawn on it. That's kind of such a difference what is actually happening in reality. Or also these advertisements what we see in television. I mean, of course the industry want to sell that, but I mean, for me it's kind of a brainwash that we sell something and we use pictures which are absolutely not the truth. And it's not just with meat industry, it's also with what we like sell, like for example like yogurt. Also the milk industry is, I mean, it had such a huge impact on the climate, but people are not aware how much actually impact it has when we drink milk, when we eat cheese or whatever. So I think awareness and the reality is the first step to really get the people think about, okay, what I personally can change, what I can choose in the supermarket, what is sustainable, and to turn around the package and read what is on, or choose a chocolate without palm oil, because palm oil is a huge also impact in the Amazonas, where the Amazonas is still going smaller and smaller because of the deforestation for palm oil plantations. So turn around the package, choose the chocolate without palm oil. There are a lot of opportunities, but if you're not aware of that, you grab what you always grab, because we human beings, we want to do what we always did. So to break this through, I think it really would need much more of, I mean, a campaign, like not just in one country, because then the economy in this one country gonna change just in that, and it would not be helpful. But I think it would be worldwide, or especially also Europe, like a Euro-wide campaign, because then it's not just one country driving the change, but all together, and that's what we need. We need a worldwide solution, because not one country will change the process.
Sure. I think we've heard two very different but very interesting and valid ways of looking at this. So I thank both of you. I know you have very different views, and the secret is that I asked you that because I know that, and I wanted to kind of hear the different perspectives. So I really appreciate your openness and honesty there. And I like to kind of end everything these days with a quick tip, since we want to inspire some concrete change. And I think some people think that, you know, even doing something in their small, you know, in their lives, just one person, it's just my house, what difference will it make? But the truth is that if we all do it together, it really will make a difference. So could you each give me just one tip of something that we can do at home, at our jobs, if, you know, maybe for those of you in the audience or online who are in the music and film industries, just give me one tip of what we can do to just in our lives make, you know, the earth a better place.
So I would say to educate yourself on this topic. This is a huge thing, because many people don't have the information yet which impact it has, whether whatever you consume. Is it a cleaning thing for, I don't know, for the toilet in your bathroom, which is not ecological made, or is it some shampoo with microplastic in it, or is it meat, what you just buy, or a chocolate with palm oil? So just educate yourself on this topic, and I think then you can really fast come to a solution what you can reduce, change, or just just maybe leave even completely apart from it. So for example, for me it was the meat that I just said. I'm vegetarian since 4 years. I'm not buying new clothes, or really rare when there's no option, but otherwise I go for secondhand or sustainable clothes. So we can all really make a huge difference. We are almost 8 billion people now, so if everybody would change something, would make a huge impact.
Absolutely.
Well, I totally share the point of view of Lea this time, because of course getting informed is the first part of the job. The second part is to use your wallet to vote in a way.
Absolutely.
Because our power as a single, we are many single person, but if we sum up all of us, we have a big power. That is our money, our power of purchasing. So of course, that is the first vote that we can give every day to one or the other way. And then go voting when we are called to do that. For example, we have recently experienced the elections in Italy, but people is not going to vote anymore, and that is very bad. That is very bad, that people do not feel represented, and this way they do not vote. But this would be the first, this is a right and also a due, and we should use it. So yes, I would go for these three. And also not to feel overwhelmed, but just to start with something, because maybe you look at someone who has a very, is a very positive example in everything, so she buys the right things, she eats the right things, and she talks about the right things, and maybe this can make the people feel that is too much. It's something they cannot reach in their lives because maybe they don't have the possibility to choose. They just need to, to survive, to overcome the daily difficulties. So another suggestion could be just to start with something, not to feel that they are overwhelmed by all of this anxiety to do the perfect sustainability strategy, but just to be to try to start with something. That could be the meat or the clothes or clothes in the water or anything. Unfortunately, also the economical crisis that we are going to face this winter for sure will force many of us to reduce our consumption, reduce the use of energy, and this is very sad that we have to learn how to rethink our habits because of such a difficult worldwide situation. But this is also a first step to reduce. Reduce, of course, get informed, vote, and start with something.
Absolutely. I think we can all start with something. I think we can all do that tonight. That is our homework. So thank you, ladies, so much for being with me. I think we will announce the winners now. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, so let's get right to it. It is time to start announcing the winners of our 6 categories that you see here of the film festival. So we had about 280, maybe even more films this year, and it was very hard to choose, but our judges did that very difficult job for us. So there are 6 categories in the competition, as you can see. We have Best Fiction Movie, Best Documentary, Best Focus on the Theme, Healthy Diets, Healthy Planet, the Young Filmmaker Award, Best Cinematography, and a new entry this year, which we actually created specifically for the film because it was just too perfect, the Best Focus on Science. So let's start with the Best Fiction category. This is a very creative one, focusing on how we can communicate agri-food system issues and solutions through fiction. So without further ado, the winner of the Best Fiction category is The Aghast, directed by Ali Amir Sayafi.
Hello everyone, my name is Ali Amir Sayafi, director and producer of the short film Aghast. I'm from Iran. I'm very happy to win the award for the best fiction film from the World Food Forum Film Festival because, as it is clear from the slogan of this festival, better food future and food security are considered important topics of this festival. In this film, we also try to focus on a crisis or a challenge in the food system in the world. A crisis called wasting of food, something that expanding day by day in today's world, and will have no result other than destruction of food sources. Perhaps one of the message of this film is that wasting food has no bitter consequences other than destruction for every human being. Anyway, I hope that we have been able to correctly mention this important issue in our film. In the end, I would like to thank the World Food Forum and the jury, as well as all those who helped me in making this film. I hope you enjoy participating in this festival and also watching my film. I wish everyone success. Thanks a lot.
I love that trailer. I love that trailer because it makes me think about the horror of food waste, because it truly is horrible exactly how much food we waste. So let's move on to our second winner. This is the Best Documentary category. There were so many films this year deserving of this award, and it was very hard to narrow it down, but I really think the judges found a special one to award it to. So let's see who the winner of the Best Documentary is this year. And it is Esquad, directed by Kezaya Jean. So let's see her acceptance speech.
My name is Kezia Jean, and I'm the director of the movie Esquad. It's such an honor for me to accept this award for Best Documentary of World Food Forum. Showing people helping each other to reinforce the agriculture can have a huge impact on all community, especially my country, Haiti. I would like to thank all my team, the Menamen team, the MP3K organization, and all my friends and my family for their support on making this movie. Again, thank you so much.
Fantastic. Now let's watch the trailer of this beautiful film.
Impact cyclone tremblement de terre, ça a un gros impact sur la communauté côté qui n'a pas. Travail par nous, c'est aider moun yo avec toute dignité yo. paske pat kon sa ki yo teye lontan. Peyizan pat kon yon mwayen vin mando, yon fey tol, yon pat kon vin mando, yon bois, yon pat kon vin mando, manje.
Beautiful. I can't wait to watch that one on Thursday. So next up, we have the category highlighting films with the best focus on our 2022 World Food Forum theme, highlighting the connection between healthy food and a healthy planet. So the winner of the best focus on theme, Healthy Diets, Healthy Planets, is Backyard Food, directed by Luisa Macedo. Congratulations.
I would like to thank the World Food Forum film for the prize for Best Focus on Healthy Diets, Healthy Planet. This is a very important recognition for me and the entire film crew, as well as the women who allowed me to tell their stories. This film is, above all, a manifesto about the obliteration of women in society and reaffirms through food our power and ability to resist in a world that wants to destroy us. I feel very happy and honored to be able to bring you the voice of these women, the power of the food they prepare, and to show a little bit of Brazil and its reality. Thank you.
Now let's watch the stunning trailer for this film.
A cozinha é como se fosse um filho. Se você não tem amor, você pode ser rica, pode ter muito dinheiro, pode ter 30 filhos, mas você não vai ter nenhum. Você não tem amor nem por você, mas você vai ter 30 filhos.
Por causa da gente, o jeito da gente falar, né, que ficava gostoso, que a comida das pessoas mais velhas fica mais saborosa. Fazer com prazer também, né, aquele amor dele, aí ficava mais gostoso.
Eu amo mexer com a terra, eu converso muito com as plantas. Eu falo, nossa, você tá linda, melhora pra mim, eu preciso de você. Eu pego nela, converso, aquilo me tirava um peso.
Absolutely beautiful. And I will say that I am one of those people that talks to her plants, so now you see that I'm not the only one. So now we have another special category giving the spotlight to a young filmmaker that particularly inspired our judges. So let's hear the winner of the young filmmaker category is 6 Feet Under, directed by Ruby Brown.
Hi, my name is Scott and I'm the editor and composer for 6 Feet Under. On behalf of the crew, I would just like to thank the World Food Forum for their recognition of our film and the inclusion of it in this year's festival. We are so flattered to receive your Young Filmmaker Award and thrilled that you enjoyed the film. 6 Feet Under follows Will Meyer around one of Yo Valley's organic farms as he explains regenerative practices they have implemented at the farm. These practices, such as keeping the poop in the loop, work to replenish the soil and nurture the vast ecosystem within it rather than using disruptive agricultural practices. With further insight from Will's colleague Tom White and Jerry Alford from the Soil Association, we learn about the need for organic regenerative farming methods as a solution to problems like climate change, biodiversity loss, the lack of nutrients in our food, and ultimately the consequences of those things for people. The weight of this topic is what makes the move towards regenerative organic farming so exciting, as it renews hope for a better future, starting from the ground up. We hope our film reminds you of the beauty of farming and inspires you to think about soil as something more than just dirt or mud. Thank you for watching.
Now let's watch this trailer.
soil is the heart and soul of farming. So we, as a human race, are absolutely dependent on the soil. The soil naturally is struggling now because of what we've been doing to it. It's not the crop growing on it, it's what's down in that top 6 inches of the soil. That's what's so massively important. For future generations, if we don't protect the soil, we won't have a human race.
I love that. It doesn't get simpler, it doesn't get clearer. So I hope you all will be watching that one as well on Thursday. So our next award focus on visuals, as they are often more powerful even than words. So let's see who the winner of the Best Cinematography category is. And it is Forest Flavors, directed by Rachel Pleb.
Hi, I'm Rachel Preby, the director of Forest Flavors. And on behalf of my team, I wanted to say thank you so much for selecting our film as the winner of the Best Cinematography Award. I'm so honored to have this film screened at the FAO headquarters in Rome, and hope that you enjoy watching it. This film was made by students at the University of Southern California in an effort to portray the life and work of Pascal Baudard and his mission to change the way we look at invasive plants. I hope that you will resonate with Pascal's mission and that it will challenge you to look differently at the food that is all around you. Thank you.
Now let's see this trailer so you can see why they won this award.
I think all the plants are alive. They are beings like us, life forms like us. I think they do have a form of intelligence. They just live on a different level than we are. You feel you're part of it. After a while you feel like you're so much part of it that you don't make that difference between I am a human being and you are a plant. You just forget who you are. You become part of the environment, which is really your place as a human being.
Absolutely beautiful. I think you can see why she won this category. So last but certainly not least, we have our new category to present, the best focus on science. It's not always easy to communicate science and data in a way that's digestible, let alone exciting and beautiful. So we were looking for filmmakers who could do just that. So the winner of the best focus on science category is Tuna Tales, directed by Pepe Brix and Rui Pedrolami. And here to accept their award, we have Philippine Vouchers accepting it. So come on up.
With microphone? Yeah. Hi, I'm Philippine Wouters from IPNLF, International Pole and Line Foundation. It's a charity that supports, represents, and promotes small-scale fisheries and tuna fishers that catch tuna one by one. So that's pole and line, hand line, and trawl methods. And first, a big thank you to the producers, the videographers, photographers, and all-round documentary makers, Pepe Brix and Rui Pedro Lamy. My colleague Yaisa and I, we created Tuna Tales on paper, but these guys really brought it to life. The reason why we created Tuna Tales was to give a platform and a voice to small-scale fisheries and coastal states. The many conversations that we have on a daily basis with these fishing communities, they're boat owners, fishers that go out every day to make a living, but also women processors. And they are in small island developing states or some of the most remote places in the world. And in these places, climate change is real, and their message is all aligned with the fact that we need to protect their livelihoods. They feel threatened by large-scale industrial fishers, they feel overlooked by decision makers, and they don't always get equal opportunity in the marketplace to compete fairly. So we're very grateful for film festivals and for World Food Forum to show the tuna tails, that these voices can be heard, and hopefully decision makers are listening. Because equity is not about making the cake bigger, it's about sharing it fairly. So we feel very excited, very honored and humbled to be here. So thank you and enjoy the tuna tails.
O mar é tudo por aqui, porque nós aqui dependemos só dele. Há tempos atrás, pescavas, estão aqui mesmo. Agora tem que andar de bote, barco, umas horas. Não, meu pai disse sempre, cada dia a pesca está a ficar mais difícil. Às vezes os barcos fora, aqueles grandes, quando deitam o rede no mar, levam tudo. Fica mais difícil.
Há pouco tempo, há um ano, um jovem pescador que morreu num acidente de bote e o bote foi profundo. Eles ficaram na superfície da água a nadar, mas estavam muito fora a pescar e eles tinham que ficar todos juntos. E então ele separou para ir nadar para a terra e os seus companheiros já não viram ele. Depois que o bote chegou e então ficaram ali em busca dele, a procurar, mas não encontravam.
E o que é que está por detrás desse esforço? Está a família. Está uma família feita, muitas vezes, de pessoas que não têm outro recurso, de pessoas que estão à espera de que o pai, de que o tio, de que o avô volte do mar e consiga trazer dentro dessa embarcação o sustento da semana, o sustento do mês, os livros de escola, as roupas de escola, o sustento da família.
O pescador é assim, sabe que vai para o mar, mas não sabe se volta. Mas tem que ter fé, confiança naquilo que faz.
Absolutely beautiful, and thank you for being here in person to present that. So we have one last special surprise actually for you all tonight. We have a very special guest with us here who's been working with us on some fantastic projects, documentaries, masterclasses, everything you can think of from Japan. So I would love to have her come up here and just say a few words about the project that she is working on with us. So I am happy to present Sakiko Yamada, the president of the Academy of the Gastronomy of Japan and Food Loss Bank. Sakiko.
Well, thank you very much for the introduction, Lindsay. I'm Sakiko Yamada. So this masterclass from Japan talk about how we can use more domestic ingredients, such as rice, which is our staple food. But we import a lot of rice, import a lot of food from abroad. So Tokyo Metropolitan Government actually shows how we can do it, and then a lot of chefs in Japan try to use more domestic resource to cut their carbon footprint and all the things. And also, since it's a World Food Forum powered by youth, we have a lot of children who believe in power of one and power of collectives. Instead of just waiting, they would like to do something, and they are, instead of just like worried or being worried or just upset with the adult, they always being positive, and they always find the things that they can do. So I hope you will learn things from, there are many, I think, masterclass. So I hope you enjoy and learn, we learn from each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sakiko. It's been incredible to have you here, and we're very happy that you could give us that message at the end. So this very special masterclass documentary is going to be screened on Thursday, starting at 10 a.m. at our film festival, kind of part 2, where we will actually see all of the different films, and we will also see the acceptance speeches again. So you won't miss anything. So we hope to see you all there, and at all of our different events, the regional events, the youth action events, innovation, other culture things, absolutely everything. We are so happy to have you. So have a fantastic, great evening, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow for another action-packed day.